Okay. Hey everybody, my name's Ella. This is my YouTube channel, which I just started like in December, so a few weeks ago. I have some tutorials up, but I also want to know more from like the audience and now like my subscribers what they want to see. So I'm kind of using this as a way to like show off the stuff I've made, and then if anyone's interested, they'd be like, oh, like that bag's really cool, can you do a tutorial? And I'll be like, yes I can. So I'm using it in that way, and also just like it makes me feel good about myself looking at everything that I've made and be like, damn, I can't believe I made this. I think I'm gonna show everything I've made. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but if not, I might cut it down to like just my favorite stuff. A lot of the stuff that I made this year was working towards like my markets. I originally wanted to do of like what I made in 2024 or what I made in 2023, but I haven't done that, and it was hard for me to do in this year because a lot of the stuff I made wasn't really what I wanted to make. It was more of like what I should be making. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some like market stuff. A lot of it I don't have because it's sold, but I do have a lot of photos of them on my Instagram. I've been into like a plushie making mood recently, but I made these for my market in the fall. There's some cute little frogs. I made them with a tutorial or a pattern. I can't remember which one, but I think it was on YouTube, but they're really cute. I think I made like 6 and maybe half of them sold. Another plushie. Look at this little octopus. This one I know I followed a tutorial on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's a no-sew one. I'm sure it'd be the first one that pops up, but they're so adorable. And these ones were a big seller. I also made turtles, which I don't have with me, but number one. I also made penguins, and I made a dinosaur, and they all sold. So my market in the fall was in October, and so this one was really good because I was able to make hats and scarves that were able to sell. And then these little pumpkins, I made I think 5 pumpkins, and like this is the only one left. This is a gray and white one, but it's so cute. And then I made another plushie. I made 2 of these actually. I made one of them sold over the summer, but it's just a heart, and then I stitched on XOXO. I was kind of trying to do like those candy hearts that you get for Valentine's Day, like the ones that are like be mine. I don't know, I saw a picture and I was like, oh, I want to do that, so I tried. Oh, I mean, these I just have. I was looking for them actually. It's been so cold, and I'm like, where are these specific mittens that I've crocheted? And here they are. This is a pattern I followed, but this is a little like cable stitch. Yeah, I found them while I was going through all my boxes. This one, or these ones, are made out of t-shirt yarn. It's from a website called Hooked, and it's basically recycled t-shirt material, which is good for the environment. Recycled t-shirt material, and it's a little bit more sturdy and stretchy. So it's made from cotton t-shirts, I'm pretty sure. But I really liked, I've seen a lot of bags like this on Pinterest, and so I really liked the look of it and I wanted to replicate it. The only thing about this one is it's a little wonky, and the straps are a little bit curled or twisted. They're not really twisted, they just curl up a little bit. But I do like the make of it. This one is made with the same yarn, but it's double stranded. So I had another like an army green color, and I had the gray, and I put them together. And I do like how this one turned out. If anything, I would have made the straps a little bit longer, but it's a very, very cute bag, and it's very sturdy, and it doesn't like kind of twist the way that one does. It's a little bit more sturdy. The only thing with this one is it's so thick, because you need to have a really thick hook too when you're working with a big hook, because the yarn is so thick. It just like kills my hands sometimes. Like I have to take many breaks when I work with yarn this thick, because it just like, it really hurts. It starts rubbing against my hands, and it just like they I don't know, but it just bothers my hands a little bit after a bit. But it's very, very cute. Then we have this one. I was in a tote bag era for a little bit, a tote bag phase. So I have this one. I made this one by myself. A lot of my bags I make just by myself, like with no pattern, no tutorial, because I feel like there's not a lot of bag tutorials out there, or they're very specific bags, you know. I don't know, but a lot of my bags I make by myself. Most of the market stuff were tutorials that I followed, but the bags, all mine. This one is, it's kind of like a mesh stitch pattern, and then in the middle I just did a little heart thing, so it's a little bit more filled in. And then with this thrifted yarn, I just added an outline. Let me show you this side. I added an outline just of the heart and then a little bow. And then this one has braided straps, which are kind of cool. And then let me tell you, my favorite part about making bags is choosing the lining that I can sew in afterwards. I will go to the thrift store, find some like pillowcases or like any sort of fabrics that look really cool, buy them, and then either sometimes like I'll make the bag and I'm looking for a specific fabric to like line it with. Sometimes I'll buy the fabric and it'll like trigger something in my brain of like, what bag do I want to make to match it, like what's the vibe? And I love that. That's my favorite part. Oh my gosh, I have this see, I wish I had a lot of the bags that I still have, but they're just like, they were the best ones, so they sold so quickly, but I had so many good ones. But this one is lined with this plaid one, and I don't know why, I just think the vibe just matched. I just think the vibe matched, you know? It's very cute. This one I love. It's a tulip stitch with pink, green, and white. And this one I had unlined forever. Like this one, since this tulip stitch is a little bit more meshy, like it's a little bit see-through, I was like, I know that I want to align it because it looks very pretty and I want it to be a little bit more sturdy. And so I had this idea of like, what am I gonna line it with? Like I kept trying to find the perfect fabric to line it with, and I ended up thrifting this. I think it's a pillowcase. It looks like a linen pillowcase, but I found this like beautiful green color and it matched perfectly with this green, and I was like, that's it. Like that's the yarn I've been looking for to line this bag, because now it just looks so cute. I love it. I don't even care if anybody else hates it. I love it. This one is very, very cute. I think it's adorable. Some people may not like it, but I love it. I love the colors on this. I literally like, I love choosing the colors. The colors really make the project. If you choose colors for a knitting or crochet project and you're upset about the colors, it's like, you're not gonna like it, you know? You have to love the color choice. And I love the color choice on this one. These are both thrifted yarns. It's kind of like an orange, green, and then this is a navy blue, but there's a little bit of texture in it. It's a little bit more like curly, maybe. But this is a bag that I knit. You can't really even tell because the yarn is so textured, but I knit this bag, and the way that I knit it just in a circle. So the end was open. It's kind of like a tube. So I knit it in the tube, and then I sewed the end together, the bottom together. And then with the strap is one long just like knitted stitch. I wove it through so that it created this like, this pocket almost on the side, or like this fold. And then it just goes together like this. So I would love to do a tutorial for this one, honestly. And it's very easy. If you're a beginner knitter, you could do this. And this one I also lined with a green, which I think is really cute because it's green on the outside. I don't know, I love the colors on this one. All right, this one. Ooh, this one's very cute. This one is one of my favorites for sure. I mean, a lot of my bags are my favorites. This one is made with this thrifted like rope yarn. I don't even know if I could call it yarn because I think it's rope, but this one again is same premise. I knit it in a tube and then I just sewed the bottom together, so it kind of creates like this perfect shape, and I love the look of it. I love it so much. But this one again, like, the yarn is the rope is very rough. So on your hand, even as I'm knitting it, it's like I gotta take a breaks because it's like it'll rub against your skin and like create like almost like a blister or like just sensitive skin in that area, and then it just killed my fingers. But the outcome is so beautiful. And then I had these leather handles, I think from some other project or something that I just used for it. I felt like it needed to match the vibe of the yarn. I also think I ran out of yarn. So I was like, I don't know what to do for the handles. And then I was like, oh my god, wait, no, that's perfect. Like, these are really sturdy handles and it's really sturdy bag. So I was like, I love it. This is a cute one. So this is a bag. The straps are tied into a bow. I remember seeing something like this on Pinterest and I wanted to recreate it in my own version. So I made this one. I also had a written pattern for this one up on my Etsy shop for a little bit, and it was pretty popular. Like, people would buy the written pattern. I don't have it up anymore. I thought I would go through a phase of like, oh, written patterns are really great, but I kind of don't really like them anymore. I like doing videos a bit more. They're a little bit easier to explain. So I would do a tutorial for this one. The only thing I would change is making it a little bit more sturdy. It's made with cotton yarn, but it's still a little bit like floppy, or it feels a little thin maybe, because I used like a 5mm hook with like regular size 4 yarn, so it's just a little bit, I would double up the yarn or something just to make it a little bit thicker. But I really do like the pattern, and this was a pattern that I made by myself. Like I said, all my bags are. This one I love so much. It's one of my favorites for sure. Might be my favorite actually. This one is not done though. It's done, it's just the ends are not sewn in. But the thing about this one is, oh sorry, I knit this one. I knit this one with double-stranded yarn, so it's the same yarn. I just used the outside yarn because, you know, there's two ends. I used the outside one and the inside one, and I put it together and I knit with both strands. So that's what created this kind of gradient. But this one, if you've ever seen Coraline, like, this is Coraline. Like, this bag, it gives Coraline, and I love Coraline, and I love this bag. And so I knit the same as I did the red one, and I think the red one and the other colored one, I just did a tube basically. It's a little bigger than I imagined, but I just did a little tube, and then I sewed the bottom together, and then I added these straps which I tied in a bow at the top. But it's so cute, I love it so much. I'm envisioning like a very specific fabric to sew in. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm envisioning, like, let me put it out there into the universe. I'm envisioning like this black fabric with like either black or like very dark purple or like navy, like something very dark but with like little stars on it or something, like very like, I don't know, like not galaxy, but like something very cute with like little stars, but it's black. I don't know, it's very specific, but I know when I see it I'm gonna be like, this is perfect for this bag. But I think the reason why I haven't finished this is because I don't want it to sell it to anybody. Like, I think I'm gonna keep this for myself. It's just so cute. So I just had to rant about how much I love the bag. This is another one. This is my most recent bag that I made, and this is what I would call like a beach bag. It's kind of bigger than I intended it to be, but it kind of works out in a way, you know? So this is the bag. It's just got one long strap, but it's very big. It looks very big on me because I'm a little bit shorter, but it looks normal on like someone who's tall. But so this bag is very cool. I love the colorway on this. This one basically, I had a lot of scrap yarn. I had a lot of scrap green and blue yarn, and then I had this white cotton yarn that I used throughout. So I used 2 strands again, and so every time I would run out of the green or the blue, I would just switch it to the next color, but I would have this consistent white cotton yarn going throughout it. So that's what makes it kind of a little bit more cohesive, but also gradient at the same time. And this one is made with the white cotton yarn, which is a little bit sturdier as well, won't stretch as much, but it's very cute. I made it, I think I made it in September or something of last year, 2024, so I didn't really have a chance to use it at the beach, but this is giving, like, it's giving beach vibes for sure. Like, imagine, it's perfect. I had to dig into my backpack to get this, but so my most recent tutorial is for this heart granny square MacBook sleeve, and in that video I was like, oh, I've made like 5 of these sleeves before, and I didn't lie because I have 5 of them right here with me. I have 5 right here with me, including this one, but I did have another one that I sold before. But I don't know what it is about these MacBook sleeves, but I genuinely love them so much. I think it's just I figured out that this size of granny square could fit like perfectly when you do 6. You do 3 and then 2 at the top, and then on the same side, on the other side, I found that it fit perfectly on a MacBook, and I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, I have these 2. This one I actually use. I had to pull my MacBook out for that one. And this one I made with that, I had some other colors of that very thick t-shirt yarn, and so those granny squares are a little bit bigger, but again, same kind of concept, very cute. And then I have a couple of these ones. So I have this one. This was my first MacBook sleeve that I made, and I had a lot of scrap yarn. I always have scrap yarn, like, when do I not, you know? And so I had a lot of like blues and greens and whites. Maybe you could guess my favorite color. And so I made it with this one, and I posted it on my Instagram, and then my friend was like, oh my god, that's so cute, can you make one for me? And I was like, of course I can. And she requested more of like some blue, green, but some orange in there, and it turned out really, really cute. I think I have a picture somewhere, but I think she still uses it. I made it like maybe 2 years ago, and this is made with cotton yarn, so it stretches a little bit because the moss stitch is a little bit stretchy. And then I have basically moss stitch with the t-shirt yarn. It's not my favorite, but it's very cute, and I got very lazy at the end of this because like it's just so thick, it was hurting my hands, and I was like, I need to be done with this. I got so lazy that I just tied the 2 ends together to create a bow. But yeah, these are all. Let me show you with my MacBook in action. But this one is lined with green, and then basically just slides like this, and it fits it perfectly. All right, so those are all my bags. Again, just the ones I have with me. Let's move on to clothing. A lot of my clothing, I don't think I made any clothing pieces in the last year because they do take a lot of time, but it's very worth it. I have to say, I know it's very controversial to say, but I genuinely like knitted pieces more than crocheted pieces for clothing. It just depends on the crochet piece. I'm not really a super big fan of like just half double crochet each row. I'm more of a fan of like granny square clothing pieces or like checkered clothing pieces. I like more of the style of like a knit panel rather than like a crochet panel, but like change my mind on that because there are a lot of things that I do see that I really do like. A lot of crochet pieces that are clothing, crochet wearables that are clothing, but I just personally like the look of the knitted stuff, so I have a little bit more, I think, knitted sweaters than crochet sweaters. So starting off strong, I have these little bralettes or like little tank tops. I mean, they're a little too small to be a tank top, but little like bra tank tops that are very cute. I made them with wool yarn, but they're very cute. I made this pattern by myself. I had it up on my Etsy for a little bit, but I would love to do a tutorial on this because it's very cute, and it's also very easy. Like, I don't have many knitting skills, and I was able to kind of create something that looks very cool. But I know that I saw something like this on Pinterest, so that's what inspired me. This one has straps that just go straight behind, and then these ones these straps cross at the back. So it's like, it looks straight and then there's a cross at the back. But yeah, these are very cute. I do have this mesh kind of like raglan sweater. It's made from the top down. So the chain is up here and then you make it top down, and this is crochet and it's mesh stitch, and this yarn is very pretty. I love the color and it's very cute on. Let me know if you want like an actual try on, but I do have a lot of this stuff posted on my Instagram again if you want to see it on, or just let me know. Ooh, this one is cute actually. I have actually worn this. Maybe I'll try it on while I'm here. But it's basically, this is a pattern I followed on YouTube, so it's not my pattern. This one, you just tie it at the front. You can tie it in a bow. I just tied it like that for now, but it's got like bell sleeves and it's mesh. It's very cute. I have worn this out a couple of times actually. I feel like it fits me perfectly, almost at the point where I'm like, is it too small for me? But it's all right. It's very cute though, but I know there is someone who did a tutorial on this, so if you really want the tutorial, I will find it. I also made this beach skirt. This one is more of a wraparound and it's also adjustable, so this can really be very size inclusive because you just make a certain number of stitches along the top and then you can wrap it around and tie it in the holes like that, and it kind of just goes like this, and it's like a beach skirt, but the stitch is very pretty. It's like a star lace stitch, but it's very cute. I went through a phase where I made a lot of sleeves, like crochet sleeves. This one I made on my Centro machine. Oh, I have another one that I really like that I can't find for some reason, but I made this one. It's with like a fluffy yarn, and ooh, I don't know if I can put it on over this, but basically it looks like one of those, like if you ever see like ballerinas wear like just sleeves, it would look good with like a tank top underneath. This shirt doesn't really look good with it. It's cute. I like the yarn for this one, and then I have a couple other ones. This one, I like the colorway. It was made with, so this main color, I had thrifted this ball of yarn, and it's cotton yarn, and it's like this teal color, but I think it was dyed. So for this one, I had made a sweater with this yarn that I'll show you, but I was running out of yarn, and this was like the main color that I used, and I was like, okay, I can't really like, I know I'm never gonna find this again, because if someone dyed this color, I'm never gonna recreate it. So I was like, I just gotta end it here. But the thing is though, it's a little bit big for me. It's not the size that I wanted. So it's very big this way, like in this opening. It's very big here from armpit to armpit. And because I asked my friend if she wanted to try it on, and it fit her. But the sleeves are way too short, but I love the colorway. So yeah, that was kind of like again, like not something that I would wear for myself, but it would be very cute. Yeah. So then I made another sleeve. Again, this is like a granny stitch, and I made these ones with gray, and I really like how these ones turned out, and I think that's very cool. I love it. Like again, it's kind of like not really bell sleeves, just crocheted in a circle, so it looks like it gets wider on the end, but it's the same thickness, but it's very cute. Honestly, I would do a tutorial for this one because I also made this pattern up myself. So yeah, and I made this one with scrap yarn, but I love it. I just love granny stitch, granny stitch, oh, so much. Yeah, this is another sleeve. Surprisingly, at my market over the summer, I did sell a couple clothing pieces, which I didn't think that I was going to. And the thing with clothing is I normally make it to my size because I'm right here, you know? I can just like measure myself and make it for myself, even if I'm not gonna wear it. It's just easier for me to measure myself when I'm right here. But the thing is, like at markets, not everybody is the same size, so a lot of people would see the tag and they'd be like, oh, it's not my size, like could you make a custom one for me? And I'm like, yes, I can. And then I would give them my card and all that, but then they would never reach out after that. So it's kind of sad. So I'm like, if I can maybe make a tutorial for someone who's interested in something like this, I would love to do that as well. I have this knitted like boat neck top, I would say. It fits on a little bit of a wider neck. It kind of sits more on the shoulders, a little bit more like on the edge, but it's very cute. I made this with cotton yarn and I have yet to wear it over the summer. I think I made it this year, so that's why I haven't worn it, but I have it in my closet to wear because I also love this color, and it's a very simple knit as well. This one is so adorable. I love the colorway on this one. The gradient color is so cute. I was trying to make it oversized, and it's a little bit it's not as oversized as I wanted it to be. Like when you put it on, you can kind of see the holes in it. It's a little bit more see-through, but I wanted it to be more see-through, so I wish I used a bigger needle size instead of the one that I did, just so that I could get a little bit more oversized. But I love the colorway on this one. And again, this is like knit, but it's a very simple knit. Like it's very much like 2 panels on the front and the back. You decrease a little bit for the neckline, and then the arms are literally just 2 panels and you sew it together. Like I've never made a knit raglan, I think that's how you say it, but I have made knit garments. And once you start making clothes, you realize how easy it is to make them. But again, I have like a couple other clothing items that I don't have with me. This is a very like filtered version of like what I've actually made. So this one is similar to, this was like almost exactly the same as this one that I showed you. Same mesh stitch. It's a little bit of a different yarn though. It's a little bit fuzzier, and I love the stripes and the blue color, but it looks very cute on. This one falls like perfectly on me. Like it's a little bit above, like it falls where like it doesn't go past like your the top of your jeans, but it's like perfect. I don't know how to explain, but then I have this sweater. And so this is the yarn that I said was thrifted and dyed, and it was cotton. And I got it for like $7 too, and it's this huge ball of yarn. But I made this whole sweater with it. It's adorable. It's a little bit more wide, but also cropped. But it's cool. It's very, very cool. And on this one, I added some pink on the sleeves, and then this darker pink with some bows on the bottom. These last 2 things are my favorite things. Ever seen those granny stitch cardigans? It's basically that. So it's basically the hexagon granny stitch, granny square. I guess it's a hexagon, so granny hexagon, but in a pull-over design. So instead of leaving it open like the cardigans, I sewed the middle together, and then you add a little bottom part. And then I sewed it just so that there was a little opening at the top. And then for the sleeves, I decreased it so that it would be still in the granny stitch, but more of a cuff. But this is very cute. Actually, I wore this one to see the Barbie movie. I made all of these clothes like summer of 2023. I had so much free time. I wasn't in school. Like it was like a break, and I was just working, and I was like, I have so much time. So that's when I made like most of these things. Like that year I made a lot. I went crazy. Also, this is my #1 pin on Pinterest. This one is also one of my favorites. I thrifted this yarn. I thrifted this black, very, very thin yarn. And I made this on my Centro knitting machine. And I basically, this one is very easy to construct, but it looks a little bit more difficult. So I did 2 panels, one for the front, one for the back. I did 2 panels for the sleeves and just sewed the bottom together, and then you sew it onto the panels for the front and the back. But the thing with this one is I made it a little bit too long. The yarn is very like thin, so it's stretched a little bit more than I thought it would. I made it too long. So what I did was I sewed about halfway down the side, and then I don't know, you can't really see, but I made these like long strings just with the central machine again, but it's only like 4 stitches in width. And so I scrunched up the bottom and then I just wove it through a little bit, and then I tied a knot so that it brought up the side and kind of made this little scrunch. But it's super cute because now I have these like really long, cool side pieces. I didn't want to have to redo it, but I'm like, how can I make this a little bit cooler in a way? So that's basically all of my stuff that I have with me. Obviously, I have some other things in my room that I just did tutorials for, so I didn't include them in my video, but this was really fun for me to go through all this stuff too. Because then I realized that as I'm going through, I'm like, damn, I actually do have a lot. Please let me know like what you guys would want to see tutorial wise. I would love to make any of this stuff again. So it would be great to get some like insight into like what you guys are making. I know it's the middle of winter in Canada and North America, but in other countries, maybe some summer stuff. Like, I don't know, whatever you want, I'm open to it. Like I said, I love suggestions from people. I love making things that other people find that I'm like, oh, I would never think to make that, but I love that. So yeah, let me know. Now I gotta clean all this up. Yeah, thanks for watching. Okay.